What's up guys? Today's video is about a method that I've been using to learn languages in the shower using this simple contraption that I made myself. Now it might sound silly, but showering actually constitutes a lot of downtime during your day that you can easily take advantage of in order to improve your language learning efficiency, especially if you take long showers like me. And that makes it really easy to implement into your daily routine. And the nice thing is that showering doesn't take a whole lot of mental energy. You're not going to be straining yourself mentally. So it's really easy to focus all of your mental energy on language learning while you're washing up. Now there are 4 steps to this process, and it all revolves around selecting vocabulary words that you want to learn in your target language, then embedding them into sentences that we know are grammatical, and I'll show you how to do this later, and then reviewing them every time you're in the shower. So let's take a look at how to do this. The first step is to choose the words that you want to master. And I do mean master. You're going to be going over these words every time you're in the shower for the next several weeks, so we're going to get them lodged in your brain really well. The most obvious way of selecting vocabulary is simply by choosing the words that you're already having trouble with in Memrise or Duolingo or whatever language learning program you're already using. Another good way of selecting vocabulary is going through a few of your favorite songs in your target language, or a chapter in the book that you're reading, and writing down all the words that you're not familiar with. I particularly like using songs that you already listen to, because then learning these new vocabulary words is going to have an immediate relevancy to your life. Once we select the vocabulary words we want to work on, we're going to find full sentences that use these words. Now, you don't necessarily want to make up your own sentences because we want to be 100% sure that these sentences are grammatically correct. You could ask a native speaker for help if you have one handy, but if not, there's a really easy way to get full sentences in your target language. We're going to go to lingui.com and type in the vocabulary words that we've chosen. In the search results, you'll see a list of bilingual sentence pairs that use the word you want to learn. These sentences are drawn from authentic sources from around the internet, and either they were originally written in the language you're learning and then professionally translated into English, or they were written in English and translated into the language you're learning. But either way, you can be pretty sure that these sentences are grammatically correct unless you see a little exclamation point like the one here. Now just choose whatever example sentence you like best and copy it to your clipboard. The third step is to create a waterproof contraption like this one that you can use to study in the shower. To do this, you're going to copy and paste a number of example sentences and their translations into a word processing program. Now, if you're a really artsy and creative person, then you can do it by hand and make them look really nice, but I'm a simple guy, so I just prefer to use a Google Doc. I always set the margins to be kind of fat so that we can cut it down after we print, which is going to help us when we're laminating. When you're done creating your document, print it off and then cut off the excess margins. Once you have your paper cut into a neat square, we're going to laminate it, which can be done in a few different ways. I used to use overlapping layers of clear tape to waterproof it, but I found that water was able to seep through the cracks here, and I always ended up with a wet, soggy piece of paper, so I try to avoid that. I bought this pack of adhesive laminating sheets on Amazon for just a few bucks, and I found that this works way better than tape, so I'll link to that in the description below. Now, before you apply the laminating sheets to the paper, make sure that the paper itself is at least an inch thinner than the width of the laminating sheet, and at least 2 inches shorter. And before you peel off the sticky part of the laminating sheet, go ahead and cut off about an inch from the bottom. Make sure you hold on to this piece because we're going to use it later. Now peel off the laminating sheet and lay it flat on the table. Now carefully place your paper directly in the center of the sheet. Now you're going to peel off another sheet and lay that one directly on top, sticky side down. Flatten it out, making sure you get rid of all the bubbles, and now you should have a sort of paper sandwich with paper on the inside and laminating sheets on both outsides. Make sure that the 2 laminating sheets are sealed together tightly along the whole outer perimeter because we don't want any water getting on the inside. Then go ahead and trim off a little bit of the excess, making sure to leave at least a small margin of laminating sheet on the outside. I usually leave about 1/2 inch. Now we're going to use a length of string that you can use as a hanger to hang your practice sheet from the shower head. I like to use fishing string because it's plasticky and it doesn't absorb water, but you can use whatever kind of string you want. Cut off a piece about 2 feet long and then tie a loop in each end. For your loop, you're just going to double it over and then tie it around itself like this. There you go. Now, you might be tempted to punch holes in your paper to tie the string through, but don't do that or water will get through the holes, make contact with the paper, and then soak the whole thing all the way through. Trust me, I did it. Instead, we're going to use the 1-inch strip of laminating sheet that we cut off earlier. Peel off the wax paper from your laminating strip and lay it right on the edge of your table, sticky side up. Then take both ends of your fishing line and lay them carefully onto the sticky side of your strip. Now the loops are only there to make sure that it doesn't pull through once you have your finished product. Then turn your practice sheet over and put the sticky side of your strip onto the back side, onto the back side of your practice sheet. And there you have your finished product. That's it. Now we're gonna hang it in the shower. I hang my practice sheets right from the shower head. And then every time I take a shower, I practice reciting the phrases. And I think learning these words in the context of the whole sentence is an important factor in helping you remember the words better. At first, just read the whole sentence off the paper, but after a few repetitions, once you start getting the hang of it, try to quiz yourself and see if you can remember the whole phrase. Then, once a few weeks have passed and you have all the words memorized, get rid of that one and make yourself a new list. So thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the live stream on Friday.